going to be releasing.
जी.
So how does it feel?
Pure joy.
Yeah.
Really thrilled with it. Really optimistic about it. Feeling very hopeful.
Randeep, how about you?
I am very happy because until the time the film is put out for public viewing, where people are given a choice that they want to see it or not, and they hopefully do come and see it, and what they feel about it, only then your work is complete. I would like to say that I'm glad that this film is releasing now and not earlier, otherwise you would all been in trouble, and there are many reasons for that, but the main reason being that today the audience has changed in the last 5-6 years, and they are more accepting of new stories, and biopics are the favor of the filmmaking and film viewing world today. People are curious about larger than life personalities and how they became that, and what inspired them, and how it can inspire the audience to be better people. So I think it's a great time for us to be releasing the film.
Yeah, that's right.
And there is a certain a comeback of the audience actually wanting to see all kind of films, and just wanting to see films. That's the main thing.
How about you?
It feels like a pure celebration. You know, we've just had Diwali, and just like that has brought in the new year, I feel the film is entering a new life, a new phase, a new time of glory and appreciation. It feels like a celebration of colors and lights and love. I'm very excited.
सर, आप जानना चाहेंगे कब आपके जहन में आया कि रणदीप हुड्डा इस फिल्म के लिए सही हैं और इनका रोल इसमें बेहतर रहेगा?
मैं
पहले टाइम पे जब आप रणदीप हुड्डा को जानते नहीं थे।
नहीं, ये सही है। मैं पहले स्क्रिप्ट लिखता हूँ, फिर ढूंढना शुरू करता हूँ कि ये इस रोल के लिए कौन सही होगा, और जब स्क्रिप्ट तैयार हो गई, और इससे पहले मैंने एक फिल्म की थी जिसका नाम था मंगल पांडे, जो बहुत बड़ी फिल्म थी, बड़े स्टार कास्ट के साथ फिल्म थी, पर इस फिल्म के लिए खास तौर क्योंकि इतना सेंसिटिव सब्जेक्ट था और इतना यूनिक कैरेक्टर था, मैं चाहता था कि रिलेटिवली नए लोग जो कि बर्डन नहीं कैरी करते स्टारडम का, वो इस फिल्म में आए। और तब मुझे इस फिल्म की जो प्रोड्यूसर हैं दीपा साई, उन्होंने एक डीवीडी दिखाई जो कि डी थी ऑफ डीवीडी, इनकी पहली फिल्म, डी कंपनी, और देखते ही मुझे लगा कि ये एक बेहतरीन एक्टर है, बहुत ही टैलेंटेड एक्टर है, बहुत ही कमिटेड एक्टर है, बहुत ही प्रोफेशनली सुलझा हुआ एक्टर है। और तब उसके बाद मैंने रणदीप से मुलाकात की और उनको स्क्रिप्ट दिया। मैंने कहा भैया स्क्रिप्ट पढ़ लो, अगर पसंद आता है तो हम साथ काम करना चाहेंगे। उनको फॉर्चुनेटली स्क्रिप्ट पसंद आया, थीम पसंद आई, और खुशी खुशी से पार्टिसिपेट किया फिल्म के अंदर। आई एम वेरी प्राउड ऑफ बोथ दीज एक्टर्स फॉर हैविंग डन अ वंडरफुल जॉब इन द फिल्म।
रणदीप जी साइन करे तब ऑडियंस उतनी नहीं थी, बट अभी
पिक्चर के लिए साइन नहीं करते।
बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ गया। डू यू थिंक हेल्पफुल नाउ बिकॉज़ अभी मूवी रिलीज हो गई?
मोस्ट सर्टनली रणदीप हैज बिकम अ बिग स्टार नाउ यार, दिस इज अ फैन फॉलोइंग, तो एकदम सही वक्त पे आ रहे हैं हम लोग।
तो डू यू थिंक इट्स हेल्पफुल नाउ बिकॉज़ तब अगर रिलीज होता थोड़ा सा कम ऑडियंस होता था?
देखिए, मेरा मानना ये है कि अगर फिल्म दिल से बनाई गई है, अच्छी बनाई गई है और कमिटमेंट के साथ बनाई गई है और लोगों तक पहुंचने के लिए बनाई गई है, तो ऑडियंस उसके लिए है इस देश के अंदर। मेरे हिसाब से इस फिल्म को सिर्फ स्टार कास्ट की वजह से नहीं देखना चाहिए, इस फिल्म को उसकी कहानी के लिए देखना चाहिए। इस फिल्म को इसलिए देखना चाहिए कि इट समवेयर ट्राइज टू कनेक्ट विद द सोल ऑफ इंडिया।
I just want to say one.
है इसमें the themes that the film portrays, such as the importance of freedom of expression, such as the importance of religious tolerance, the importance of understanding how vulnerable women are in Indian society. All of those themes are as relevant today as they were when the film was made, and as they were 110 years ago, which is when the film is set. So it is the perfect time for the film.
Randeep, would you like to say what are the challenges you faced while portraying the character?
I had to take off my shirt. Why are you laughing? It's a challenge.
Randeep, also you said during one of the interview that you are not very open, like when it's like to open your clothes and all, like
For photo shoots and all, for films I don't give a shit.
But
Because
how about Rangrasiya? That
well,
was
I'll tell
second-
you the challenges that I faced. First of all, the biggest challenge I'm facing now is that nobody is creating a controversy about me being topless. Why is that the case? Why only Nandana? I'm feeling jealous now. But the challenges that one faced was, the biggest challenge was that I did not know about the man. When I did not know about the man, I read the script, I liked it, I went to Ketan, I said, it's a wonderful script, but who is he? So then he told me, he opened up the book and he said, he showed me all these paintings, some of which I'd seen in calendars, and there were some, then they came to the painting of Lakshmi and Saraswati, which is in my house. I've been praying to it since a child, on Diwali and things. So that's when it hit me, the magnitude of the character and the film that Ketan was trying to make. And then when we did research about him, I was thrilled to find out that he was the first rock star of this country. He still is the biggest rock star if you know about him, because that man had so much fan mail that the government had to make a separate post office for him to receive mail. वो तो आजकल भाई के साथ भी नहीं होता. He was that big a superstar at that time. And of course his contributions were immense. Of course we all know that he gave faces to gods and brought the gods out of the temples and everything. But I think he gave Indian woman the biggest symbol of an Indian woman as an image, even internationally, which is the sari.
Correct.
It wasn't even called the sari. It was this long piece of cloth that tied in all different kinds of ways, and it was called kashta somewhere, something else somewhere. So all different things it was called. It was through his paintings that he made that, fall band ke yahan pe and pallu aise niche blouse pen ke where your midriff is showing, which is actually quite a sexy way of wearing that piece of cloth. So he was the first fashion designer in that sense. So his contribution to our culture as such has been immense. And of course, he was the first commercial artist, a marketing man who made prints of his paintings and distributed them out, and everything from soap dishes to looms of cloth to sacks of rice to beedies. Everything was sold. Patakas, Lakshmi Cha Pataka, you must have heard, as originating from Raja Ravi Verma. So such a big influence he's had. Of course, influence of cinema. Ketan will tell about how important that is.
अरे बाप रे, आप सब जानते हैं कि दादा साहब फाल्के is considered the father of Indian cinema. Well, Dada Saheb Phalke started his career as an apprentice to Raja Ravi Verma in his printing press. If you see his early films, the entire imagery is derived from Raja Ravi Verma's paintings. All early cinema somewhere has derived from Raja Ravi Verma's paintings. The heroines, all the early heroines, somewhere have derived from Raja Ravi Verma's paintings. So he is one of the first pan-Indian iconography has been created by Raja Ravi Verma, and that is the amazing contribution of the man. He rediscovered our ancient culture and civilization for us. He is the man who painted gods and goddesses in human form for the first time. So his contribution has been, recently I was told, I heard from the media, that actually the government of India was considering him for Bharat Ratna. That kind of personality. So it's an amazing love story of an amazing man, a very passionate man, and a very passionate love story.
You all must have seen, at least your mothers or grandmothers or somebody posing like this in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Right? Like this.
Yeah.
Or in the Hindi movies you must have seen like this.
Oh,
Oof. So all those images come from his paintings. All are, we are ignorant people. I was also ignorant, so we are here to tell you about him. But that's not the crux of the story, as Ketan said. The crux of the story is the love story, a passionate love story, a very colorful love story, a very eventful love story between Raja Ravi Verma and one of his muses, because of which the whole hell broke loose on his life, and that muse being the face of Lakshmi and Saraswati sitting right next to us. Her name is Sugandha in the movie, and she'll...
Yeah, will you please tell something about your character in the film?
Yes, of course. It was a wonderful character for me to play. She is at the same time extremely fearless, but also very fragile. And this combination of strength and softness is what makes Sugandha such a complex and beautiful character to play. I had loved Raja Ravi Verma's paintings all my life, although I didn't know the fullness of all of his contributions. But as an artist, I'd really loved his work. And in fact, when I was in college, in my Harvard dormitory, I had a painting of Damayanti. And when Ketan came to discuss the film with me, he was stunned to see 2 life-size paintings of Raja Ravi Verma's heroines on my walls. So I had in fact been looking at the face of the character that I was going to play for as long as I've been in Bombay. The amazing thing for me to rediscover I should say, when I played this part, as Ketan said and as Randeep said, was to kind of go back to the tradition of womanhood in India. So Sugandha's character, the journey that she has in the film, has so many resonances with the stories of the archetypal Indian heroines that she portrayed for Raja Ravi Verma, whether it's the story of Draupadi, whether it's the story of Sita or Shakuntala. And because I had moved away to America when I was very young, this brought me back to the Ramayana, it brought me back to the Mahabharata, to the beautifully rich tradition of stories that we have. It brought me back to the gods and goddesses. And it also opened up a really wonderful world of femininity for me, because I had to go back to Raja Ravi Verma's paintings to create, to invent the body language of Sugandha, the way she would walk with her anklets on, or her the chain around her waist, the way she would peep through her eyelashes. As Randeep said, so much of the way women learned to carry themselves in India had to do with his paintings. And going back to that, to reinvent that body language for me, which is very different from my body language as Nandana, was a really beautiful part of the experience as well.
Last 2 questions.
And I've got to add something to that. He was a great nationalist, a patriot. When he was asked to paint the paintings, copy the paintings of the European churches and everything, and to put them in Maharaja Baroda's palace, he refused to do it. He said, we ourselves have got so many stories to tell, why are we looking at the West? And then he said that, and to find a nationalist and a patriot who's also colorful, this does not happen in this country. If you're a national patriot, you're a boring person with khadi, you know. But with Raja Ravi Verma, he really carried both the things with great fervor, and you know, and and when he said, okay, then paint the paintings of Ramayana and Mahabharata, so he said, I haven't seen India. So he actually went on a tour, which we take you in the movie, all across India. We take you from Travancore to Baroda, to Banaras, to Jhansi, to Khajuraho, to Jaisalmer, to all these places. And so it is like seeing India of that time in a beautiful big canvas with great music, great love story, and that is Rangrasiya for you. It's not just Raja Ravi Verma, it is the world he created.
केतन सर, फिल्म जो है आपकी बहुत कंट्रोवर्सीज में रह चुकी है.
जी.
एज अ फिल्म मेकर, हाउ डिफिकल्ट इज इट टू कीप कंट्रोवर्सीज अवे फ्रॉम द वर्क?
Controversies are a result of your actions. It is not a preconceived position. I believe that if you're trying to do anything different, there would be different opinions towards it. If you try and do the same things again and again, for me, it's a boring life. So I like to challenge myself. I like to create challenges which others can participate in and make their own, and that is what life is all about.
And I'd like to add to that it's also about what is it that is meriting, that is demanding the controversy. In this case, this particular story focuses on how this painter's journey revealed the ways in which women are vulnerable in society. And in order to understand that, you need to see her story in all of its fullness. And if the cost that you pay for that is controversy, That's a cost that you're paying for being true to your art, for being really honest in the story that you're telling, for not trying to hide anything and telling the whole story in its most human way.
You see, actually the theme of the film is what all of us, the entire media and entire art scene goes through, and that is freedom of expression. I seriously believe that is a fundamental right. I seriously believe that every democracy, every civilization needs to be fully free, and freedom of expression is an essential part of it. So that's what the film is about.
Raja Ravi Verma was prosecuted in the 1890s for painting obscene pictures which involved body of a naked woman, which is created by God, and there's nothing obscene by it. If it was obscene, he would have fixed it already. Many 100 years later, more than 100 years later, M.F. Hussain faced the same controversy. He was exiled from this country, driven out, and he's such an icon of modern India ever since independence. He's such an icon not only of art but a modern Indian, and a very simple Indian who used to walk around with bare feet. They threw stones at him and they threw him out of the country, and he spent his life in Dubai and died over there. Over what? Over a painting of a naked woman, or a half-naked woman who he thought was a goddess. Because he was a Muslim, they thought you're painting he painted Hindu gods. Why not Muslim gods? Because Allah does not have a form, so how could he paint Allah? You know. So the whole point was, he was driven out. But who's seen the painting? Have you seen the painting? I've seen the painting because my interest is in art and because I was doing this movie. But who else has seen the painting? Nobody's seen the painting. They've thrown him out of here for hurting public sentiment and insulting religion and insulting people's religion in them. Brother, if your religion is so sensitive and it can fall down or flat on its face just because of a half-naked body of a woman, then that religion is of no consequence. You should let it go anyway. My religion is not so, my spirituality or religion is not so fragile that it will fall down just because I see a body of a naked woman. It is all politicized. It was politicized in Raja Ravi Verma's time. It is politicized now just to gather attention. When you throw stones at an artist and abuse an artist, it is the sure, short, quickest way to get publicity, and that's what we are facing in this country. Our censorship is not done by the common man. It is done by people who have got vested interests in the vote bank politics, and that's how it's done.
I mean, I'm sure you all read about how there were paintings that were thrown out of the Jahangir Art Gallery recently, right? And that there was no sort of question of being a Muslim painter painting a Hindu god. It's just that we have a society that, for political reasons, as Randeep said, puts chains on artistic freedom, and that is not acceptable in a democracy.
I think in spite of the fact that we have entered a new century, in spite of the fact that we think we are a really fast developing society, a kind of a climate of intolerance is also sweeping through the country, and this film is a reaction to that climate of intolerance.
Randeep, lastly, just wanted to know that
We've spoken too much.
Yeah, just want to know about your you play a painter. So have you done any workshops or the basic?
What do you think? Looking at me and knowing me as an actor, you think I'll not prepare for it?
Yeah, just if you would say.
Okay, I will say to your camera. Yes, I did practice with a guy from Nitin Desai's art direction department. His name was Sanjay, and he used to come to my house and we used to paint. I used to sketch a bit in school, but that was not sufficient. I could never mix colors. So he taught me a bit of that, and every artist has got a signature brush stroke. So we discussed how Raja Ravi Verma's brush stroke would be, and what part of the anatomy he's painting, and how do you stroke that part of the anatomy. So